Hiya, I'm Simone Radley from England Nails, and in this video I'm going to be sculpting a hard gel nail on myself because my nails are in a pretty bad state. So that's what we're going to do. So firstly, before we get cracking with this, I've got to say, if you can hear any noise, something's going on outside. I don't know what because I can't see out, but it's really loud. I don't know, it's like some sort of roadworks or some building something. So apologies if you can hear a load of random noise. So I have already prepped my nail and I've fitted my form, so I'm ready to go. If you want to see how I did the nail prep and how I did my form fitting, I have done that in previous videos and the link will be in the description box below, so you can have a look at those. So now we're ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to use my Fantastic 4 Super 6 brush. I'm going to use the Super 6 end for this. So like I say, I'm already prepped, form fitted, ready to go. I'm going to come in first, I've taken the lid off already, with my clear eye gel. So this is medium viscosity, it's a self-leveling gel. Oh, I'm going to get in a sticky mess now. So it will move. There you go, you can see it moving in the part look. I love this gel. I really like it. It's just fabulous to work with. So this is what I'm going to use first. And this is what I'm going to use basically as my base first off. So you don't need a separate base. If you've watched the other eye gel video, you will already know. You do not need a separate base with this. However, if you want to, you can use fluid rubber or flubber as your base first off, which obviously will make that element soakable, because eye gel, with it being a hard gel, you cannot soak it off. It's file off only. So bear that in mind when you come to using it. When I use it on my clients, I'm not bothered about that because they all just sort of come and have infill anyway, so I'm not bothered about that. So with your first layer that is acting as your base, you literally, it's really thin, and you scrub it in, like really give it a good scrub in, and that is what is going to help with the adhesion. This eye gel has got really good adhesion anyway, which is obviously why we don't need a separate base, but that is how we do our base layer. So once you've done that and scrubbed it in, just pop it in the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. And now I'm going to come on to building my free edge. So I'm going to use still my clear eye gel. I'm just going to come on and build out where I want my free edge. I'm going to do it very similar to this one that I did in a previous video. So I'm going to go to the line that's just under the number 3, so it's a 3. And I'm just using this to build out that platform. So it's basically, if you've not sculpted before, or you don't sculpt, or you're not used to sculpting, this is just a really thin layer, and it's kind of, you're building out the shape, so you're kind of building like your tip, essentially. It would help if I kept it in shot, wouldn't it? Build it out into the shape you want it. Sometimes it will pull away at the edges, so you might have to go back in before you put it in the lamp and just put your edges back. Build out the shape that you want it, so you're not relying on then having to file the shape in, which could ruin your nail. Try and work on building out the shape that you want it to be. If you're worried about your edges disappearing, you can make them slightly lower on your form, because you do get a certain amount of shrinkage when you use gel. So quite often I like to build mine out slightly lower. Check it before I put it in, and I'm going to put it in the lamp for 60 seconds. So now that's cured, I'm going to come on to building my my nail bed. So I'm going to do an extended nail bed with a smile line. Oh, it's this finger. I'm looking on the camera and it's like opposite. And I'm going to use Signature Pearl Jelly Pro. So if you've not watched the other video and you don't use this, this is a high viscosity gel, so it doesn't move at all. So it's really easy to build extended nail beds and stuff with because it doesn't move. It stays where you put it. It's dead good for that. And I love this colour, and it's got a bit of a sparkle. Who doesn't love a bit of a sparkle? So, my nail bed then. I'm going to pick up a small amount first because I'm going to put on my slip layer, which is a really thin layer of the gel, and it will help your gel move around. And I'm going to see where I want my extended nail bed to be. So I'm going to bring it down to about the 1, I think. So I'm going to pick up my gel, pop it down, and now we're going to work on our nail bed. I want to get it nice and close to the sides, obviously, to the edges, to the cuticle area. Make it nice and neat, but I don't want to obviously touch and get it too close. And then when I come into doing the lower part of my smile line, I'm going to take some from up at the top because I can add. I'm going to add to it anyway. And I want to build this wall. So I'm going to bring it out slightly past where I want it to be in the end, because we're going to file this. With it being gel, you do really need to file your smile line. I mean, you can do it without filing, but I mean, it's not easy and it takes forever, basically. Gel really is one of those things for building a smile line that you really do need to file it. I'm just going to wipe that off. I just went slightly a bit too skew there. It doesn't really matter because, like I say, we are going to file it. But so I've built that out pretty much where I want it. So I'm going to whack it into cure for 60 seconds. I should have actually said I'm not curing it for 60 seconds, that's a lie. I've cured it for about 10 and now I'm pinching it. I do want to have a nice C-curve and nice pinch on this nail, so I am giving it a good pinch. Very important. And then I'll put it in for a full cure, but I want to make sure it's got a nice pinch going on first. Right, now I'm going to put it in for 60 seconds. So I also want to say heat, because I just felt like there was a bit of a campfire on my nail. Heat, when you use hard gel, it's perfectly normal. It's just a build-up of heat from the curing process. If obviously you feel any heat, just take your hand out straight away, and then when it stops, you can put it back in and it'll stop then. You won't feel it anymore. It's just that initial one. But some people never feel it. Some people feel it more than others. It depends on nail condition and all sorts of stuff. So now I'm just basically going to build it up, because as you can see, it is flat. So I'm going to build that up, and we need a real nice wall around here. So I've done my slip layer and I'm going to build it up. So always make sure you look from the side so you can see exactly where's what bit you need to make higher, what bit can be lower, and so that you're building in the right shape. I am going to add to this as well. And before I put this in the lamp, I'm going to add a string around my smile area, because I want this to be nice and high. So now I'm going to put that in the lamp to cure. I'm going to do 10 seconds, pinch, and then do the rest. So now that's cured, I'm going to do another slip layer because there is just a couple of bits that I just, and definitely at the smile, I just want to build it up a little bit. So I'm just going to add, look from the side, again like I said before, and you'll see where you need to add in. So now I'm going to put that into cure. So now at this stage we're going to file our smile line. Before you do that, make sure you've got your lids on your pots and your brushes and everything like that. Now it's best when you're doing this to use a new file, because you really could do with a sharp edge on your file, because that'll help you get a real nice sharp smile line. So I always make sure I've got a new file. This is a 180, if we can see. It's a 180 signature file anyway. And before I do it, I'm just going to wipe over with some green cleaner, because the dust will just obviously stick to everything. And now we just want to come in and like sharpen up our smile line basically. So like I say, it's good to use a new one so you've got a nice sharp edge and it's nice and fresh. So I don't take the edges off my file like I normally would for this. And we're just going to file in our shape. So when you are filing your smile line shape, my tips for you are to have your file should be dead straight against your smile, so it should be dead straight so you've got building a nice straight wall. And you need to try when you're filing it to push against your smile line and not push down onto your form, because you don't want to move your form and you don't want to file through your clear base really either. So you want to be pushing against that smile line and not down, and make it nice and straight so you've got like a nice straight wall. So if I show you it from the side, you can see there it's a nice straight wall running around there. So now I'm going to just clean that dust off, get rid of all that dust with some green cleaner, and then we've got the fun bit. So I need a silicone pad. This one's all fluffy, so I'm going to clean it with some green cleaner before I put my stuff on it. Right, so I'm going to use, against my smile line, I'm going to go black, I think. It's always good to use, it don't have to be black obviously, but it's always good to use like a darker colour, I find, around your smile line, because it makes it sort of stand out more. So I'm going to use I161. Then I'm also going to use I197 because I love the colour and I love the sparkle. And I think I'm going to use this glitter. It's a multi-size glitter. This one is Aria. I love it, it's really nice. And I'm also going to use this champagne gold leaf. I feel like that would be quite nice. Yeah, we'll go for it. Why not? Why not? Oh, if I can undo the bottle, that would help. So I'm going to decant a bit onto there because I will probably need to use it off there. But I'm also just going to use the brush out the bottle. And I'm going to go right up against my smile line. Don't worry if you go over the top because you're going to file that anyway. But you definitely want to make sure that all of the side of your wall, there you go, is painted in this colour. You can do 2 coats so you don't have to worry about wrinkling or anything like that. And I'm going to extend it more down one side than the other. I'm going to extend it slightly down this side. It will run down, so we'll touch that up in a second. But I want to use my vice versa brush to paint up into the corners. because the brush from the bottle was just a bit too fat for that. I'm going right up into the corner, and this is when then you can come back to this smile line because it runs down, and just make sure it's up here, and then we need to put it in the lamp to cure quickly. Right, I'm going to stick it in. Now that's cured, I'm going to do another layer on the black just to make sure it's not got any patches and bits that we've missed. Because that smile is nicely covered, I'm just going to whack that into cure before I come back and do the corners. I'm just going to flash cure it. So I just cured that for about 10 seconds just to hold it up on that smile line so it didn't all run down and gather down here in this, down here in the bottom. Now I'm going to put it in for a full cure. So now that's cured, I have decanted some I-197. I'm just going to use my vice versa brush to come along and pick that up and just add it in where I want it. When you're doing a design like this, you've got to keep this design layer with your glitters and stuff really, really thin, because obviously we're going to do your design layer, then we're going to cap in clear, and if it's not really, really thin, when you come to doing your finish filing, you're going to file through it, and if you file through your glitter, when you file through it, it all ends up silver basically. And obviously you're going to ruin parts of your design. Oh, I'm going longer and longer here. I'm going off the edge of me. I'm going down to a number 4 now, but I only did my base to a number 3. My God. I'm doing extreme nails now. I'm going on forever. Just wiping my brush, and now I'm going to add in some of my glitter. I'm just going to use it out of the pot, and I'm going to use my vice versa brush to pick it up. And then I've got my champagne. Let me move this out of the way. Oh my God, that's a recipe for disaster. My champagne gold leaf and my tweezers. I'm just going to break it up and just use some little bits of that. If I can pick it up. My tweezers are bent. Right, so now I'm going to stick that in the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. And now I'm going to go back to my clear eye gel, and this is what I'm going to cap it in. So I'm going to encapsulate it in here. So I'm going to use the same brush, Super 6. And I'm going to grab quite a good, could have grabbed a bigger one I reckon. Quite a good bit of gel, and you just encapsulate your whole free edge right up to your smile line. I'm going to do this in 2 because I don't want it too thick. I want to be able to pinch it nicely. Right, I'm going to pop that in for 10 seconds and then I'm going to pinch it. Now that's cured, I'm going to come in with another bead of clear just to finish off capping this in. You've got to make sure it's all really well covered. Again, right up to your smile line. Make sure you've got it all in, right up into the corners. And make sure your sides are coming down low enough, because obviously you are going to file those up. You don't want to file it up, you know, you don't want nothing there. You don't want it to be too sort of high already. Right, I'm going to put that in, she says, to cure for 60 seconds. So now it's cured out the lamp and I've wiped off the inhibition layer. So we've got no sticky layer left there at all. And now I'm just going to come in with my normal filing routine. I won't bore you with all of that, but if you want to see it, it is in another video that Joanna will link below in the description box for you to see. So now that that has been filed, I would just leave it like that if I was going to put eyelac on, because you don't want to smooth it out because obviously your eyelac will peel. But because we want to get rid of the scratch marks, because we're leaving it like that and top coating it, I'm going to buff that. That's the 320, 320. It's probably a bit soft. Let me see. The only other one I've got out is a 150, 150, but I'm going to use that because I have already used it, so it is softer than that now. I'm just going to buff it to get rid of any scratch marks from the file. So it's got a really nice deep C curve, nice thin free edge, apex, not massive apex, you don't need a massive apex, but it's got a nice gradual apex coming up, if you can see that. There we go. So I'm going to clean it. Where's my lint-free wipe? Do you know, I'm terrible. Got stuff everywhere. You can clean it with either your pre-nail prep dehydrator or your green cleaner, whatever you want to clean it with, to get all the dust off. Oh, and then when you put something on it like that, you can see in it. So I'm going to just top coat this, and I'm going to use the Ultimate No Wipe top coat. And when you do a design nail like this and you put the top coat on, that's when you can see how nice it is. Oh yes, you can see that sparkle. I love the sparkle in that. I absolutely love hard gel for doing encapsulated nails, I've got to say, because it's just so glass-like. For me, this is a strong statement. I never thought I'd say this, but for me, it is better than using acrylic. There you go, I've said it. I do love it. It just is like, yeah, glass. Right, I'm going to put that in the lamp. I couldn't get my words out then. Put it in the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. I need to go. These ones look good. How can I do it? I need to get my other ones out of the way. So that is it, out of the lamp. And there you go. Our shiny, lovely encapsulated. I want something to lean it on. Lean it on this part. Encapsulated hard gel design nail. So I'll just show it on one person. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And, oh, like and subscribe. Nearly forgot that then. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new vids. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.